hi. Say hi. Oh, you're so big. Good morning. Oh. All right. So I thought I would
Good
do
morning.
some today because Tim actually the other day said he doesn't know how to make good eggs. And I love making breakfast. And all of my pictures on like all of my social media is like making eggs. And so I'm going to try to make an egg eventually today, even though it's my friend's kitchen. But before that, I thought to make it somewhat thematically sound, I ended up sending a poem. You know, who would have thought I would send a poem to Chad? Like, I want to say it was like a month and a half ago, about eggs and about this like idea of like how we are more like eggs than we think, and it's basically surrendering to the becoming of life. So I'll start by reading that, and then we'll try to make an egg, and Brett can narrate us through it or something fun.
Oh boy, play by play. We need
It's gonna be
we need Olson. Olson, you got
excellent.
to log on for Olson's got to log on for that.
Oh yeah, he can sports ball it through the egg making process.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, so we're gonna start with the poem is called "The Egg's Simple Surrender." An egg begins in darkness, not the darkness of endings, but the darkness of beginning. A hidden thing small enough to be overlooked, fragile enough to be broken, yet carrying an entire world folded neatly inside. Life often feels like that. We spend years beneath shells, the shell of childhood, the shell of certainty, the shell of who we think we are. And from the outside, nothing seems to happen. The world sees only stillness. But inside, there is a patient ache, a stretching, a rearranging, a pressure against the walls that once felt safe. The chick does not latch. The chick does not hatch because the shell becomes cruel. It hatches because growth eventually becomes larger than comfort. What saves it is the very struggle that exhausts it. Every crack is a wound and a doorway. Every fracture lets in a little more light. And so it is with us. We mistake breaking for failure. We do not see that many of life's holiest transformations arrive disguised as collapse. The friendship ending, the dream dissolving, the certainty cracking, the self we have outgrown falling away into pieces. A shell breaking from the outside ends a life. A shell breaking from the inside begins one. Yet the egg's story does not end there. The shell that once protected becomes nourishment for the soul. Nothing is wasted. Even what could continue still contributes. And there is another egg, the one resting quietly on a kitchen counter, simple, ordinary, nothing grand about it. Cracked into a bowl, whisked apart, transformed by heat. Its shape disappears, yet somehow becomes more itself. No longer what it was, yet still entirely egg. Perhaps that is another lesson. Transformation. Transformation is not becoming something else. It is becoming more deeply what you always were. The omelet, the loaf of bread, the cake shared between friends, all of them born from surrendering a former shape. The egg never reaches its purpose by remaining intact. Neither do we. So here we are, creatures carrying hidden worlds, living between shell and sky, between what protects us and what calls us forward. Fragile, simple, miraculous. Each day, another small crack appears. Each day, a little more light enters. And though the breaking is rarely comfortable, there is beauty in it, because life was never asking us to remain unbroken. It was asking us to surrender and become. And my dogs love it. Whiskey, come here, Bella. So that's my.
So basically, you have to break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Amen, brother. Amen. Whiskey says hi and is protecting us from
Whiskey
tears outside.
Whiskey, 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 whiskey.
I promise he's comfortable.
You're not paying attention.
So yeah, I think there's definitely something about the like surrendering to the process that I think a simple egg can inspire us.
I can get inspired by a good metaphor. That's cool.
Yeah. So what's on your mind, Brett? I'm gonna try to see if I can make this egg for people. What's on your mind?
Oh, that's good. Al goes, the first egg to break is the individual ego.
Nice
touch, Al. No, it's funny, I've been on this I mean, it's fascinating, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for all people, but I've been going on this. I happened to see Jacob cross streaming a couple days ago, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is in his stream, because I thought it was a just chatting stream, and then I ended up crossing over and seeing where he was at. He was on this guy Confluence's stream, and it's quite rogue. They're into debating, but it was just funny. It was just like, so I got into this conversation with him a couple days ago, and then I saw his stream went live last night. He was doing a trivia, so I'm like, all right, I suck at trivia, but at least I'll play, whatever. So it was cool watching them how they did trivia. That was kind of cool. And I'm sure somebody in the corner has done that, but you have to have the ability to change your name quick. So what you do is you put the question up, everybody changes their name to A, B, C, D, and then you put everybody's name up on the screen, whoever's hosting, and then you can see everybody's answers that way. So it's kind of a cool way to play trivia on there. I'm sure this is like not new to how people do it with StreamYard/YouTube. It's not some new thing, but yeah, I sucked. I mean, somehow there was somebody in the chat that was so fast with the answers, so it was easy to cheat. That's the only thing you have to watch out for.
I feel like that'd be an interesting concept to do. Like
Chad says, oh yeah, it would be fun. Chad says, ever read The Egg by Andy Weir, a short story?
I don't think so.
I haven't.
Come on and talk about it, Chad.
Yeah, that was my nickname with my friends, was Weir.
Why?
Well, you have to be older and know who the Jerky Boys are. Get me Brett Weir, I say. Get me Brett Weir. I'm from the Supra across the way. That's where it came from.
So I think the first eggs I'm gonna make are actually gonna be for the dogs. So I'm not gonna put any like funky stuff in it. I'm just gonna cook scrambled eggs for them. No like extra salt and seasoning or even butter. I'm just gonna cook the eggs first, and then we'll make either like a sunny side up egg. Those are kind of tough, or over easy. I think over easy might be my favorite egg. You like eggs, Brett?
Isn't that when you just spoon over the white over the yolk? Or is that a different one where you just take a little spoon and you kind of spoon over the clear over the yolk as you're doing it, so that it forms a...
So you can do it that way. You can do it just like one turn for like less than 10 seconds. But like the sunny side up, I think I need like I probably need some sort of like way to steam it a little bit.
Yeah, Al, I actually got to see Rollins Band, Beastie Boys, and Cypress Hill in one concert down in Miami. It was quite the concert, let me tell you.
Man, I haven't been to a concert. I don't know what it was about, like I mean, I know what it was about COVID. It scared me to be people for like a long time, but like before COVID, I used to, my gosh, I used to go to concerts all the time. There was like outdoor events like all the time, and then since then, I haven't really gone back to a concert. But that's like my favorite form of music is like the live stuff. That's good.
It's probably been for me since I was in Atlanta. I'm not a big concert goer, but I did it. I did it more for the communal. You know, other people were going, and hey, do you want to go? And I'm like, not really, but I'll go to hang with you. You know, and it's
Mm.
like, but I did walk around. Like I said, I'd walk around Atlanta, and I'd be by myself or whatever, and I'd see like a live jazz show, and I'd just pop in because they'd have all these, you know, cool looking old style jazz clubs, you know, that they were kind of trying to give the vibe. So that was kind of cool.
When did you live
I
in
did.
Atlanta? Like when did you move to Florida?
So I've been in Florida my whole life, and then I moved from Florida to Atlanta. I think it was 2003. Yeah, 2003, 2004, something like that. And then I was there about 6 years. I left about 2010-ish,
Mm,
you know. Yeah, the housing crisis got real bad, and people weren't buying products, and it was like really hard to make a living. And I was in like still trying to go to school. I couldn't afford school anymore. I couldn't afford to live there anymore. It was just out of control. So I just came home. So I
Jeff, come
remember
on and
that.
talk about your egg metaphor. I want someone to come on and
Yeah,
talk about egg metaphor.
explain the mere Christianity.
Yes.
Not enough
Do you
practice with
do you
that
like
stuff here.
do you ever think of going back to Atlanta?
I mean, not really. I mean, probably because of my parents. I mean, you know, being here to help out and stuff like that is kind of a thing. It's like if there was nothing holding me back or something like that, like, you know, no real reason, I might consider it. But like, yeah, I mean, I like my church family and the friends I have now here, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like I did that very adventurous thing once in my life, and that's cool. I think that at some point you start getting settled and you kind of want to, you know, like people say, put down roots and things like that. And so you build a community, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Community is a big deal, especially for me.
Yeah. Community is, I don't know, I feel like community is kind of hard to find these days unless you're like centered around a hobby, it seems like. Um and maybe that's why like going back into like the church system is like so important because like that's a way of life. That's not like a hobby, or it ought not be a hobby. And I think that's what I was realizing was that all of my communities were centered around something that was like not going to last forever. Like it wasn't, you know, like, and then even studying like philosophy, like for a long time, it was like, oh, everyone thinks that this is a hobby, but that was like a way of like approaching the world for me. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. I don't want to bond over this being something that we can forget about when we actually go do life. Like this is, I want to bring this into every moment of my life. And I think that's what, you know, church, like community and like religious practices, like is supposed to be. And I hadn't really experienced that for a lot of my life, most of my life, all of my life, I guess.
You know, I think that, so like one of my tools, um, I was only sober about 3 years at the time. And
Mm.
so like my church family was like, knew I was going to Atlanta, and they're praying me up. And so one of the things in AA is like you do what's called 90 and 90, which is 90 meetings, 90 days. And so I thought that that would be a good reset when I moved to Atlanta, because it really did help me meet people. And I figured, well, these are people that get me better than even church does in a lot of cases, so I decided to do that. But it's similar to that. But I know there's like Jeep clubs and outdoor, like kayaking or whatever. Like there's these clubs that are all over. So like you'd find Facebook Meetup or something like that at the time, and you'd find these clubs and stuff like that. And so you had this instant connection, whatever you're using, to develop a network of people wherever you go. So it's kind of cool. So people use those things. I definitely never, I developed a lot of much better quality friends, I would say, in meeting people at AA than I did, and I did things outside of the rooms and stuff with them. Whereas at the church I was attending, it was Andy Stanley's, the big mega church.
Mm.
And so you can get lost in there, so like you basically are just checking boxes. Like I go to service and I do a small group. But my men's small group is a great small group. Like they even had a goodbye party for me when I left and stuff like that. But I don't I don't think I felt quite as close to them as I did the guys that I was in AA with. Now it would be different.
Do you don't like keep in touch with people from AA, do you? Like, is that like part of the process, or like do you sort of let that go if you're like not a part of it anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that there is it's kind of like distant friends. It's kind of like friends that you had friends that you were friendships with and they knew you intimately. And if I ran
Yeah.
into them or if we linked up or whatever, we would pick up right where we left off, but it's just like those friendships. It's not like I go out of my way necessarily to try to, meet up with them, or like once a week still meet with some of them. But a lot of it has to do too with me being in a different city. Like, so when I came back to Florida, I moved where my parents moved. So like I got sober in Palm Beach, which is like a half hour south. And so
Right.
there was a much bigger, connection there. And then when I moved to Port St. Lucie, I went to a few meetings up here. And every once in a while I might go, but I don't have as many connections here as I did there. So, so, and honestly, I've said this before. I mean, because I've transitioned into the church,
Mm.
it's not made, it's made it's been less focused on, like, the best way to, I can phrase it is it's less focused on the sin, instead of the solution. It's like, so like I'm kind of doing my thing at church, and I'm building my friends and community in church, and it's not like, it's like we're not always talking about those sort of things, which is, to me, works out, which is, I like it.
Oh, okay.
But there are people at my church though that have a similar background, so it's like, every once in a while I might, we might talk about something like that on the side, and it just be the two of us or whatever, come talking recovery talk, or whatever. But
Right.
it isn't the central focus of our relationship.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say if you wanted to keep going, yeah, I find that like I don't know. Sometimes it's like once you have that like support system about like a very pinnacle part of like your life, and you're like not in it anymore, it's like really, I don't know, I feel like it's like a big grieving. Like it's an obviously, especially in this case, like a positive thing that that's not what you're like in anymore, but it feels like a grieving of that sort of like, I don't know, level of understanding, I guess.
Yeah, maybe, but I would also harken back to, I think, something Chad said many times, is that it's different for everybody. I don't
Mm.
think I would recommend to somebody that, oh, eventually you wouldn't have to go to meetings. No, there's some people that, you know, I think that they need it. There's a, I don't know. You can kind of, the last three steps are all about, daily moral inventory and service. And so I have ways of doing that in an automatic fashion now, that's not even I don't even really think about it the same, like in the strict AA way. And so I have just developed a different system that works for me. But again, because I know what got me sober, I would always recommend somebody to stay with an AA program and keep doing that. And.
Well, the verdict is that the dogs loved those eggs, so that's good. And now
You got
I want to make
all
our
the fun stuff.
So I don't know if you cook eggs often, but my recommendation is butter. Always cook with butter. People like to use oils and whatever, but like real butter, people. It's not, I mean, yes, butter is not quote unquote good for you, but neither is the processed oils, people. So
Very Paula Dean of you.
hopefully that's the only part of Paula Deen that is similar to me.
Well, when you're
It's
all
funny. I
when you're
wasn't
when you're
around
that
for all of these like when like cancel culture like kind of started. I feel like I don't know when it like started, but I do remember that like all of a sudden when people said certain things, all of a sudden if I like mentioned, oh, I watched Paula Deen or whatever, it's like, oh, you like racists? And I'm like, wait, what? When did this happen? And it was just an interesting like transition because I feel like I grew up with a lot of like I don't know. I feel like I grew up with a lot of people that ended up like saying some like things that got them like canceled, like those like celebrities, and I'm just curious, like when that all sort of started, you know. Also, Yoav,
yeah
olive
you,
oil is great. I just don't want to cook with it. I'll dress things with it, but I don't want to cook with it. I don't want to ruin it. All right, we'll try an over easy egg. How about that? I wish I could like. I'm gonna try to see if I can transition over. So you want to be the filler for me, Brett? Want a monologue about something else?
oh joy.
What about so I wasn't on I saw that Luke streamed last night and I was asleep because
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
jumped on.
10.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I had just gotten off that other trivia thing, and I saw Luke was streaming, and I was like, oh. And they were talking about, well, when I got there, they got to talking about words, meaning, understanding, and that kind of transitioned when Ezra caught on. All of a sudden, we started talking about movies. So the next thing I know, we were talking about a lot of different movies and Hollywood's role, and what's being conveyed. Nobody, and of course, Paul Renee was in there, and he was like, of course, black pilled on any movies nowadays. He's like, no, they all suck. There's no good movies anymore, which is funny.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but It was interesting listening to him talk the last few times I've seen him on streams.
Yeah, he's just. It sounds like he's going into orthodoxy, but he has a very and he'd be a first to admit this. I mean, he has a very pessimistic view on the future. You know, well, not just the future; he's even the present, I think, too. But you know, it's like we all go through our things, and hopefully, hopefully you can see the flowers in the garden instead of focusing on the weeds. There it is.
I think what I'm going to do is just use this audio.
Just mute your laptop and see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I did. Oh no.
Now you got to mute your laptop. There you go. Now turn your phone back on. There
Check.
you go.
Check.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Cool. All right. So now I can hear you and see myself. Perfect. Okay. So, Butter. My dog. The other dog. Okay. Let's keep going, Brett. See if I can do this with one hand.
So we're going to see the expert fry an egg.
I need a fork or something.
Be careful what your camera shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My Crocs.
Yeah. Well, no, I just like any letters, names, addresses, things like that. You know, or whoever.
A little hot.
Look at that butter. Look at that
yeah,
butter.
like I said, butter's the way. All right,
Yeah,
now
Chad,
we're
I'm definitely gonna read. I'm gonna read that.
Think I can do it with one hand? Oh, cool.
You know, I learned the first time I learned about cracking eggs. It was fascinating to me because I was always so dainty about it, like trying to not get the shell in my stuff. So like I'd barely tap it and try to like create a small, nice, clean line. And my buddy was like, "No, dude, you just gotta take the egg and just go full force into the rim. Like almost half split it." And I'm like, "What? Aren't you gonna get shells everywhere?" And he does it right in front of me, and I realize. No, he literally just severed it right in half. It's like the easiest way to not have flakes in your eggs. And I'm like, that's pretty damn cool. Who would have thought?
See, what I like to do with my eggs is I like to start hot, turn it down, and then right before I want it out again, I turn it hot again. So it doesn't like stay on the hot the whole time. But you got to salt it when it's in the pan, people. I don't know who said, I think it was Gordon Ramsay that said, don't salt your eggs before. And I think I agree with that. I think you salt it when it's in the pan. When it's in the pan.
That's interesting. I mean, I do put salt and pepper in the pan, but I also do, what is it? When it's on the plate, I still do it too.
Yeah.
So okay, while you're making this egg,
yeah, go for it. I was gonna say I don't know whether I want to do over easy or not, or if I want to do a sunny side up.
Well, you have to you have to declare it before.
I mean, it's almost sunny side up already. Like as you can see, the white is like not too. And so what the cheat code for me is I'll put a small amount of water and then it like slightly steams the top, and that like finishes it for me. If you want to do a sunny side up egg, but if you want to
And
do
what's your next egg?
I was gonna say try to do the over easy or even a fried egg. Fried eggs are good, but keeping
All right.
the
So
go for
while
it.
you're doing that, I'm gonna do this for Chad. I'm gonna read The Egg by Andy Weir out loud.
Perfect.
All right. All right. I'm not a great reader, but just deal. All right. So The Egg by Andy Weir. You were on the way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind your wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMT tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was utterly shattered. You were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What? What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck and it was skidding. Yep, I said. I died? Yep, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place, you ask? Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. You are God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is your family. That's good stuff right there. You look at me with fascination. To you, it didn't look like God. I didn't look like God. I just looked like some man or something or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. More of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will secretly be relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You follow along strode, as we strode through the void where we are going. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So what's the point then? You asked. When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby. So all my expectations and everything I did in life won't matter. Not so, I said. You'll have within you all the knowledge and experiences of your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and looked and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you possibly can imagine. The human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or not. You put a teeny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back, you've gained all the experience it had. You've been a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't sketched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. We've been hung out here for a long time. You started remembering everything, but there's no point to doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots, lots and lots. In into lots of different lives. I said, this time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically time as you know it only exists in the universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from? You said. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly you won't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, I get reincarnated to pass to other places and times I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So what's the point of it all? Seriously? I asked. Seriously, you asked me in a you asked me for the meaning of life. Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life is the reason I made the whole universe. Is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, it's just you and me. You stare blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived, or who ever will live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln, and you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled, and you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus, and you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimized somebody, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done it to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will experience by you. You thought for a thought for a long time. Why, you ask me, why do all this? Because someday you will become like me, because that's what you are. You are one of a kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said incredulously. You mean I'm God? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe, you said, it's just an egg. I answered, now it's time for you to move on to your next life, and I send you on your way. The end. So Chad's cooking eggs too. I see.
That was great. Now, what's the interpretation of it, Brett? What does it all mean?
Don't ask me. Chad's the
All right,
man with that.
look, I'm gonna call this the evolution of egg. Okay, so I have sunny side up, over easy, fried egg, and then I'm gonna make this like hopefully scrambled egg, but it's gonna look, if I do it right, it should look like a
Are you
little
going to
like
be able to eat?
rose.
Are you going to be able to eat all four of those?
Yeah. I mean, come on, that's like what, like,
I can eat four eggs. I know Chad can eat those four eggs, but I didn't know that.
oh yeah,
It's a lot of
we gotta get our
eggs.
protein goals, right? Like, we gotta hit our protein goals. I'm getting really good at the single egg or single hand break. So, if anything, cooking on stream helps you get some practice on things you wouldn't normally practice. So, little flick of the wrist action. Are you making sandwiches, Chad, or are you just making like egg on top of bagel? Like just one? Like one-sided? And then you just plop them on? Or are you going to top them? You know what I'm saying, Chad? What do you have for breakfast normally, Brett? Do you eat breakfast? You seem to me like an I don't eat breakfast guy. Is that a bad
I just don't eat breakfast. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't want to put the effort into it.
All right, now with the scrambled, I like to salt before I put it in the pan. I saw a cool thing that Chad did, and he salted the pan, which I think is pretty
Did he?
freaking interesting. So for what I'm going to try to attempt to make,
Chad made one giant four egg, one giant 4 fried egg, all connected, one giant one.
because they looked kind of like sunny side up situation, or maybe
Yeah. Well, he
over
eventually flipped
easy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like is I like omelets. I like what is it? A frittata.
Ah.
That's
Also,
also good. Where
putting some dairy, if you do dairy, in. Hopefully, this is good. Always smell your dairy, folks. Yeah, this is good. A little bit of dairy in your scrambled eggs will make it a lot fluffier. I think. And then for what I'm doing, I'm turning my heat down. It started hot, but I'm turning my heat down. And I'm hoping that it cooks slower. I don't know. It might have been too hot a second ago, so we'll see. Hopefully there's not a ton of sizzle. Ugh, there's sizzle, but that's okay. And then... Hello.
he's like, "Am I getting a little more?" You just might, Whiskey. I don't know if she can eat all four of these bad boys.
And so I'm trying. Close. You're supposed to like move it across a couple of times. And it's supposed to come out into like some sort of spinny flower type situation, but not exactly. Not too bad. It'll look better when I flip it. Hopefully.
Yeah, I do the scrambled eggs on the Sunday mornings for the church service, which is kind of cool. It's like an easy way to serve without being, overthinking it. You just cook.
Yeah. Normally there's a little bit more of a spiral in the middle, but that'll do. That'll do.
See, I dice it up. I just get it all nice, and I don't leave it in giant layers.
Yeah, I feel like when you go to like a restaurant, they leave it in these like giant layers.
Yeah, they do. It seems
And I don't
more
know if that's
fluffy, I
because
think, that way.
I wonder if it's also because it's like comes in like pure liquid form or whatever. Like it's all like already mixed
No,
up.
I mean, there's definitely quality, like different levels of quality. Like the ones we get from restaurant supply chains for like the church, it's just a giant bag. We've gotten them in cartons before, but it doesn't work out. But but to me, the egg has like these little potholes, like these little voids in them. So it doesn't quite look the same as like a real egg. You know what I mean?
So this is my evolution. What do you think, Brett? Sunny side, over
Yeah.
easy, fried, and
Looks like
scrambled.
love in a looks like love in a tummy.
Right?
Ohio
Right?
Ohio Express. I can't believe, Olson, you couldn't come on while you were tidying up. Unbelievable.
That was a fun adventure we had, Brett.
What's wrong, Rod? Don't start slipping. You've been doing good. So don't start, you know.
Well, good thing that it's 6:30, so it's the perfect time. Look at that. And that's the other thing about cooking is it's really hard when you're like doing a dinner party or like Thanksgiving Day and having it all come out and like just the perfect timing. But I'm just gonna say I finished my plate right at 6:30, so serving up for the day, getting ready, getting our protein in to get ready to go over to Chris Howard. So do you have any final words, Brett? Did you learn anything?
I don't know. I think when it comes to cooking eggs, you kind of have to have a bit of a touch, or you have to do a lot of it in order to get good at it. So I guess this goes back to the original thing of breaking a few eggs. To make a good omelet, you have to bake quite a few eggs to figure out how to cook eggs well. So,
Yeah, we think of breaking eggs as failure, but I had actually 6 eggs I broke, and I learned a lot. And even though I failed on at least one of them, 2 of them, I don't know if you saw, I flipped one thinking I was going to do over easy, and it ended up being the fried egg because I flipped it and it popped. So, you learn from your failures, you move on. Still ends up tasting good in the end. So,
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I need my yolk runny.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You a
Well,
hard
if I'm,
toasty.
it's either got to be scrambled, so it's got to be all mixed, or it's got to be a perfect yolk that's nice and runny, but all the white has to be fully cooked. I can't have a runny yolk. Ugh. Or what is it called? It's not yolk. Is it yolk?
The whites, just the
What's the
whites.
yellow? Yeah, the white. It can't be runny. Ugh.
Well, awesome. That was fun. I had a good
I
time. Thank you, Chad, too, for coming on and making your breakfast with us.
you don't want to watch us. You don't want to let us watch you eat.
Oh, no, I don't want that to be a clip that I end up seeing on Grim Grizz in 2 days. That would be awesome if I just kept that to myself and my dog.
How are you ever going to be part of great branding? It's only the
That's
funny stuff that he puts on.
That's true. That's true. I need to show a little bit more, I think, of my personality. So maybe I'll start doing a couple more because I was thinking about this the other day. I haven't done some of my own videos in a while because I've been so, I don't know, like into watching the live streams and doing my own live streams and stuff. So maybe I'll start going back and doing some stuff there, maybe read some of my poetry just on, my stuff and play a trumpet riff or two, see what happens.
I think that Chad could make something out of this video. He could probably brand some of the egg making process in branding. So we'll see if Chad gets inspired.
Especially with you having read that during our cooking, I think that's ideal. You're going to be
Oh
part of the
no, I didn't
branding.
even think.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, not a good speaker. Maybe he's gonna have to speed it up, or he's gonna have to morph my voice for it to be worthwhile.
Oh yeah. Chad said whiskey hasn't walked in months. We've been walking a ton, Chad. That's so funny. But I'll make sure to walk my dog and to take you guys on the journey. Oh, also, I don't know why I'm like talking to you guys as though you're going to be keeping up with this necessarily, but as some of you know, I'm going to be traveling soon to see at least this guy on screen too, NT Scott. We'll have to do the specific times. I don't know what your time frame is going to be because of like jobs and stuff, Brett. But essentially, I can come down and see you kind of the entire time I'm with my parents. Like at any point, like I can come in and visit. I can visit multiple times. But I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a vlog about it, like doing some updates along the way and sort of, I don't know, keeping people updated on what we're doing and what we're talking about. I think it'd be fun to do a little bit of content while we're there if you're interested. So
Yeah.
if you guys are hearing this and want to keep up, the next couple weeks are going to be what I think Tayo said, Be on Tour is the name of the series I'll do. So I'm doing a little bit of a tour of the TLC, at least for the morning crew. So I'm excited.
Yeah, if you're up for it, you're welcome to come check out that Psalm service. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
Like
that'd be
early Sunday
awesome.
morning service. Yeah, you could check that out. That's cool.
I love
It's an
that.
experience, like any other. I was trying to think of anything, and the problem is, like, since you already traveled to Florida, it's not like Florida's like new to you. I don't like. I'm so disconnected from like what is cool in Port St. Lucie. Like, what would be unique? You know, usually
Yeah.
when people come visit from other places, they're like, "Oh, let me take you to the beach."
Or like, do you know if Matt C will be around at all? I know that he's going to be traveling for his stuff, but
No, yeah, he was when he looked up the dates, he found out that him and his family are going out of town, and I'm like, oh man, because all he would have had to do, well, what I don't know. When I went to his house, it was like a 3-hour ride,
yeah.
something like that. No, 2.5 hours. So, but still, he would have been down with it. But yeah, he travels a lot. He travels a lot more than I do. That's more than most people do. He
Yeah.
was just in the UK, so it's like boom, boom. Now he's going to the northwest campfire.
Northwest Theory or Protocol, whatever. I should know it by now, the amount of
Greater,
times I've listened to
greater,
Sting say it.
yeah, Greater
Regional
Regional
Aggression.
Aggression Protocol.
Yes. And then Stephanie, yes, Steph, I was trying to think if I should come back up because I'll be on the East Coast. I was thinking of either coming back up because I'm going to visit Scott first. So I'm going across sort of Western.
75. Yeah,
And
75
so then,
you're going to take.
yeah. And then I'll go and see my parents and Brett. And then maybe when I come back up, Stephanie, I don't know what you're doing in 2 weeks from now, but we could have a campfire then. Although if it is hot, can we have the campfire inside and just have like an iPad campfire inside? Can we do that? That would
Maybe
be
she
awesome.
has one of those. Maybe she has one of those fake fireplace things.
I could see her having that. She seems like, and this is a nice thing to say, I think. She's like bougie like that. Like I feel like she'd be like.
Yeah, I have an outdoor little. Or you could bring out one of those. What do they use to make fondue?
Oh yeah.
Like marshmallow things.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah, we'll all keep you guys all updated on the travels. And don't worry, Rob, because I'm telling you about it. I'll even, if you want to, I will send you the addresses I'm going to, and you can keep tabs on me if you'd like. You can keep me safe. Don't worry, I'll be safe out there.
Yeah, Chris Howard is on now.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
This was fun.
Enjoy your breakfast. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be watching. Bye guys. Have a good morning or evening.